Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank that in my first video I got a very good support from my friends and some of the people that I know, and also some of the unknown ones. So that was very encouraging, and I got 50 views and around a day. So I'm making another video, which is about fighting negative thoughts. So what I have observed is that throughout the lockdown, or because of being away from people or being disconnected, many of the people are being mentally disturbed, I would say, not in a way that they are sick or anything, but we are being more stressful, or we are being less positive about our lives. So here in this video we just want to discuss about like a couple of ways through which you can identify if your negative thoughts are actually something that you should bother about, or those are some facades that you should see through them, or how to counter them, and how to get a hold of them basically, right? So they don't bother you a lot. So first of all, a couple of ideas which I do is like, first put them on paper, right? So by that what I mean is like, you can just simply write that down on a piece of paper, or otherwise you can just simply write that down on a digital notebook or notepad or something like that. What it does is that you actually get to be rational about that when you are writing, and it will automatically tell you like what you are writing is actually something that you should be bothered about, or is this something that you are just being a bit immature about, or you should not be thinking a lot about that. So putting them on paper would usually work better in such a case, and you would get a better idea like if you should be actually worried about them or not. So that is one of the idea which I have applied myself. Next one is like counter arguments. So this one is my favorite. A lot of people say that I am very good when it comes to argumenting, so that also applies when I am argumenting with my own self, right? So what you need to do is like, if you get a train of bad thoughts like, okay, I am not being able to achieve this, or I am not being able to achieve that, I was supposed to do this but I didn't do it, I was supposed to lose weight, and I have not yet started working out, or something like that. You need to counter argument that with whatever that you are doing, and whatever that is causing you to not being able to do something, right? So make sure that you are not beating yourself on any kind of negative mood or anything right after the impressions from the thoughts of and chains of these negative thoughts. You need to propose the counter arguments, and you need to make sure that you are aware of the efforts that you are making. So that is one of the ways that with which you will be able to definitely stop the train of your negative thoughts, and get a hold of yourself there. Next one is easily and most known and obvious one, which is meditation. I think not a lot of people are doing that, because it sounds a bit of crazy, and before I did it myself I also thought that it was not that cool, or it was not that useful. But after you do that, you realize that like 10 minutes of meditation is as hard as 2 minutes of plank. So you should definitely try meditation. It will give you a hold of your negative thoughts, and it will give you a bit more maturity, bit more control over your mind, and it will throughout help you through your daily activities, and it will have a lot of basically effects which you might not be able to even comprehend right now unless you do it for once. And when you do it once for a couple of days, you will start to realize it that it is changing your life. It is a really useful tool there. So if I am making more such videos, please expect that meditations would be there into that. Next one is that make sure that you are not just hungry, or make sure that you have slept enough before you start being all moody, or before you start being angry at yourself, or before you start being frustrated. What happens a lot is that on some days I would sleep around at 3 a.m. or something like that, and I would wake up around 8 a.m. So on those days I would be on a very bad mood, which I have observed quite frequently lately. So what happens is that you are not in bad mood, you are not in a bad position in your life, or everything is going perfectly fine out of you, but the problem is just with your body, because it is tired, because you are not letting yourself rest enough. Or some of the time what happens is that you haven't even had breakfast, and you are working up to 2 p.m. continuously. So if you are just that thirsty or hungry, or if you are not even taking care of yourself, it is obvious that your body or your mind is against you, and yeah, it is basically it hates you. So you need to make sure that you give it enough rest. If you give it enough food and enough rest, it will be fine. So that is just a couple of tips which I have from my end. Apart from that, it is something that once you start understanding that all the kind of impressions and all the kind of thoughts is what your mind is supposed to do, you realize that negative thoughts are part of the package. Your brain is just made to evaluate all the kind of thoughts, positive or negative. So it is giving you all kind of thoughts, and you need to just make sure which ones are actually affecting you, and which ones you should be avoiding to think about them. If some negative thoughts are really something that you need to counter, you need to analyze them. You need to understand why such thoughts are occurring and why you need to work on them, and you need to mitigate them. So that's it for this video. I think if you have any other suggestions or any other ideas, feel free to share those on comments. Thank you.